If you are fine with the Captain Underpants book series, and if you find it entertaining, then there's no need for you to watch this video. If you are one of those people who thinks that Captain Underpants is a terrible idea, however, I recommend that you watch this video, and the entire video too. So, I thought that pretty much it would have stopped by now, but even like now, I still find people saying that Dave Pilkey is a horrible person and all that. He writes about underpants and stuff like that. Okay, I'm sure that Captain Underpants is not the only book that has to do with underpants. There's gotta be some other book out there which, I don't know how your body works, I don't know. But there's gotta be another book out there. Just because someone wrote about underpants, and because underpants are something that kids laugh at, doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. I still, like, meet people now who sometimes, like, not really make fun of me, but just, like, tease me, you know, for liking that book series. And I don't let it get to me, I just kind of shrug it off. But it's kind of strange how, even though Captain Underpants has been a thing since 1997, and it's been 19 years, people still are not giving Captain Underpants a chance. And I'll admit I didn't really give Captain Underpants that much of a chance either. For pretty much my childhood, I was just pretty much thinking like, it says Captain Underpants. It's obviously inappropriate and gross and stupid and stuff like that. So I avoided the series. But in grade 5, Captain Underpants was like the thing that everyone was into my class. So I was just like, meh. Why not? So I checked the library, they had the first issue, I was like, give it a shot, see what it has to offer. And then I read it. I remember, my mom and I went to the library, and as we were driving home, I was reading the book, and, well, of course, I'm sure everyone knows by now. Start off with an introduction that introduces us to the two main characters, named George Beard and Harold Hutchins. And it basically, I read the first page. Meet George Beard and Harold Hutchins. George is the kid on the left with the tie and the flat top. Harold is the one on the right with the t-shirt and the bad haircut. Remember that now. And like as soon as I read that, I was just like, okay, I gotta remember that. It's probably gonna be important. But it turns out that it's not really important at all. It just became a running gag throughout the thing. It's not really important at all. Pretty much, you don't really need to even know who's George and who's Harold throughout the entire series, because there's barely any moment where one of them is on their own. They're almost always together. It's always just going to be, then George and Harold did this, and George or Harold said this, but it doesn't really matter who's saying what. You just gotta remember that one of them is talking. But, okay, fine. This guy's George, this guy's Harold. George is the one on the left, Harold is the one on the right. Blah-de-blah-de blah blah blah. I have to admit, though, I have a feeling that Dave Pilkey was just all in a child sort of mood when he was writing the first book, because the first book makes no sense whatsoever. Like now, but book 12 came out a year ago, and now it's all like making sense. Like now there's like time travel in it, literally time. Okay, do you want? I'll show you proof. See, two of the same people. They're time traveling. Okay, you could say that they clone themselves, but honestly, like, and now, like, Dave Pilkey does everything that he can to make sure that the space-time continuum stays intact. He's not, like, in the first book anymore, where he would just throw in everything and hope that it would make sense and everything. He actually, like, focuses really hard on the plot to make sure that everything's okay and everything. And see, there's a pterodactyl there. He's from Cretaceous period. No, he's not just a random person. Look, see, okay, this happens, and extinction of the dinosaurs is right here. Okay, you know what? If you don't believe me, then just read the series. Honestly, it won't be a waste of your time. Sorry for the spoilers, but honestly, like, if you... Sorry for the spoilers, but honestly, like, if you haven't read this book by now, then you're really behind. What have you been doing your entire life? Honestly, this book was released in... Oh wait, it's 2013, I remember that, right. This book was released in 2013. 3 years ago. Well, okay. The point is that Captain Underpants is actually a very entertaining book series, and there is no reason why anyone should be being mad at Dave Pilkey for writing the book. I imagine that Dave Pilkey, I honestly, like, as soon as I read the first book, I was hooked. I just bought all of the books. Seriously, they're all here. I can't exactly blame Dave Pilkey if he's released that many books. If he really was a bad person, then how could he have released that many books? And Underpants is getting a movie, and I am interested to see what it holds up. And it better be good. Because honestly, like, okay. Everyone who is super excited for the movie, sorry to burst your bubble, but it's not gonna be perfect. Because when I got excited for the Doctor Who 50th anniversary special. I always get excited for sequels to movies that I like and blah blah blah. Because in my mind, I imagine it's gonna be the best thing possible, but things can always get better. So, I mentioned this when I was reviewing Finding Dory. So, sorry to burst your bubble, but the Captain Underpants movie is 99.99999999 infinite 9% chance of not being perfect. But it's gonna be good, hopefully. If it screws up the canon of the book, like I don't know. Look, as soon as the movie comes out, I'll review it and we'll see what I thought of it. Books may have been for kids, but honestly, like, I'm 14 and I still read the books. I know there's probably adults out there who read the books themselves. Well, maybe because their kids read the books, but I'm assuming that there are, like, adults out there. Okay, Dad, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but when I was a kid, I was a very picky eater and I didn't like to try new foods. So Dad would always bring me a new food and I'd be like, I don't want to eat it and stuff like that. And Dad really didn't like Captain Underpants despite the fact that I didn't even give it a shot. So he was like trying to make me a deal. If you eat 3 of my food, then 3 of my food. If you eat 3 of my food, I will read 3 of your book. Sir. I don't know. But, yeah, just grown-ups out there who are telling their kids stop reading Captain Underpants. Okay, this is a lesson that you have been teaching your kids this entire time. Admit it. You told your kid, do not judge a book by its cover or title. You once went to a library and picked up a book and your kid didn't want to read it because its cover seemed boring and you told him or her, do not judge a book by its cover. Admit it. So if you are telling your kid to stop reading Captain Underpants even though you haven't even read the books yourself, you are breaking your own law. Read the books. I guarantee you, book 1 may seem a bit weird. I'm telling you that. Book 1 may seem a bit weird, but the more you get into the series, it's going to be awesome. I must say Dave Pilkey's drawing talents also got a lot better thanks to writing these books. Look, see, this is what George and Harold looked like in book 1. And this is what they look like in book 12. See? It's definitely an improvement. Thanks for watching. If you are absolutely fine with the Captain Underpants books... Yes? Okay, thanks.